Bennyboy here with another Ballistix Mod Garage episode. And today we're going to show you how to build some custom light bars for your Ballistix DDR4 tactical tracer memory. Because what better way is there to mod your computer than using some RGB lighting and 3D printing? Well, I suppose you could build your computer in a beer keg, but today we're going to keep things a little simpler, so let's go ahead and get this mod started.
The light bars come with a tracer memory. It's pretty cool, but let's see if we can be a little more creative with ours. I'm going to use Google SketchUp to create my 3D files, but there's lots of alternative rendering programs out there you can find. Just pick one you like and learn how to use it. Now, in order to import STL files into SketchUp, I'm going to need to download and install the STL extension through the extension warehouse in Google SketchUp. Fortunately, this is pretty easy to find and not too difficult to install. Now we just need to download the starter file from ballistixgaming.com, and we're going to go ahead and import this into our editing program. After you import the light bar, you might see some lines on it, and that's just artifacting from the import process, usually no big deal. Next, we're going to go ahead and head over to thingiverse.com, which is just an awesome depository of lots of different 3D printing files. Now for the project I had in mind, I was thinking of a city skyline across the memory flashing with different lights. I was thinking this is going to look pretty cool. Unfortunately, I found this awesome kit by J. Kirsten 22. It basically has a bunch of different skyscrapers from Chicago. Should fit my build pretty good. Now we're going to go ahead and import all these different buildings into the project, one by one. There's quite a few of them, so I'm just going to import all of them and stack them into one place. After I get all my pieces imported, I'm going to select them, and then I'm going to scale shrink them down so they're more appropriate size for the light bar. Now I'll go ahead and drag each building on the light bar and get them spaced out to the way I like. After I'm done making all my light bars, I'm going to go ahead and select one and go to Export STL. This will allow me to export the single light bar as an individual STL file to print. I'm going to go ahead and open our first STL file, and I'm just happening to use Repetier Host as my slicer. Obviously there's lots of programs out there, and you're just going to have to find one you like for your 3D printer. Now you may notice once you open up your STL file, it's going to ask you to repair it. This happens to be because basically the object isn't watertight. Thankfully Repetier Host gives us the option to fix that, which will help with printing. Now that our file doesn't have any holes in it, we're going to go ahead and get ready to slice it. Now, I've messed around with lots of different settings and what I think looks the best with lighting. And for your special configuration on your prints, it's probably going to be best that we first put the infill down to 0%. If you need some infill for some structure reliability, you can totally put it, but the less is better. It'll actually help with the light transferring up through the object, and it'll just look better. And after we're done messing with the infill, we're going to put our perimeters down to either 1 or 2. 1 looks the best. If you need 2 for more stability, totally do it. Something else that's really important is to make sure you have your print settings correct for the translucent PLA you're going to use. I had to do a lot of experimentation because it was very different from my white or black PLA. So make sure you do some testing beforehand and just figure out what temperatures, what extrusion weight works good for you. Let's now go ahead and get these files sent over and get some PLA rolling. Now that our print's done, first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and remove any supports that we may have used. Now at the light bar, there's 2 keyholes to keep the pieces from moving around. These don't print really well, so I found I had to pretty much drill them out to make them usable. Another trick I found is actually drilling out the bottom of the light bar. This helps with the LEDs just so there's less obstruction. Now carefully with an X-Acto knife, we're going to go ahead and clean up our piece of any burrs and hairs. Now we need to go ahead and remove the existing light bars. We first need to pop out these little keys that are holding it in place. I found just using a small pen works really good to do this. After the keys are out, that bar should slide out nice and easy. We'll go ahead and slide our piece in, just to make sure it fits nice and good. Not too shabby, I must say. Now we'll go ahead and install our modules and get all our light bars slided into place. Oh yeah, it's not looking too bad at all. I think I'm gonna go ahead and name this Latent City. Get it? Latency? Ben, there's another bad pun. And I'll just go ahead and show myself out.
Hope you guys enjoyed that build we did today. And if you think you can make any awesome light bars, make sure you stop by and share some of that with us on social media. We'd love to see any cool ideas you guys come up with. Well, until we mod again.